everyone. My name is Mark.
And I'm Zoe.
And we are the Board Adventurers. Today, for you, we're going to talk about 5 games in our collection that we really want to play the most. And these are games that we haven't played yet, as a caveat. But we definitely have had them either for a decent amount of time that we haven't gotten to and we really want to play, or just games that we have very recently that we just desperately want to play. So, how was it putting together a 5? Mine was really hard.
It was tough. We have large collections of games that we haven't played,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's a pretty tough list to make because we're slowly dwindling through our
Right.
games.
I think very recently we both had Wonderland's War on our list.
Yeah.
We recently played it for his birthday, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So it's not going to be on our list, but it would have been.
It definitely would have been.
Probably would have been on both of ours, actually.
Yeah. Okay. But let's get into it. We'll start with number 5.
Yeah.
So number 5 for me is going to be the most recent purchase that I actually have right now, and that's Grand Austria Hotel.
Oh, okay.
I heard about this watching a couple board game channels. I guess we'll shout out to the brothers Murph, who kind of like brought me into that like realm of it. But I tried looking online for a playthrough of Grand Austria Hotel, and I couldn't find a recent review.
It is an old game.
So I was like, I need to find someone that can teach me this game, because I think this kind of has that look of a really cool game. Because I got really into Castles of Burgundy, and what I know about Grand Austria Hotel is that you're using dice and you're rolling them onto a playboard, and using every time you have a 1, it's going to fall into a certain column.
Yeah.
Whenever you take an action, you're going to take that action, and then for the number of 1s in that column, that's how many times you can take that action.
Okay. Huh.
So I think it's a great idea. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and now that it came back into print, when I saw it, I immediately went out and bought it.
Oh, okay.
So that is my number 5 Grand Austria Hotel.
Nice. It's a good start.
Yeah.
So now my number 5 is Kanban EV.
Oh man, Lacerda.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought this game. So when I started getting into the board game hobby, and I was like researching a bunch of games and like what people are playing and what's a good one to start with, everyone kept mentioning Lacerda games. And then the more I learned about Lacerda games, the more I got more afraid of Lacerda games because
the complication of them all.
They seem so complicated.
Yeah.
But I was still very curious. So I looked through all of his games, saw some playthroughs, wanted to pick one that really thematic, because I'm a thematic gamer.
Right.
I wanted to pick one that really thematically kind of spoke to me.
Okay.
And it was Kanban EV.
Okay.
I'm not even going to begin to try to explain the rules of Kanban EV or what you're
Right.
doing in it, other than it's a kind of like a car manufacturer kind of theme to it.
Yeah, I think there's a character called Sandra in this game.
Yes.
Follows you around.
Yeah.
I was like, it seems like a lot of people mention Sandra for some reason, but they love it.
A lot of people really like Kanban EV.
Yeah.
So eventually, once I can like go through that rule book and actually understand what I'm reading, because that rule book is hefty.
That thing is thick.
I do want to get that to the table. I do want to experience what a Lacerda game is like,
Right.
and if that's something I'm interested in. Because with heavy games, it's usually very hit or miss for me.
Yeah, and it's hard because like Lacerda game is very complicated.
Yes,
and like we don't have many of the Lacerda games. So like we backed that recent Kickstarter for Weather Machine.
Yeah.
And right now, that's how we ended up with Kanban, Weather Machine, and On Mars.
Yeah. So and we haven't played either of them, any of them. So.
Yeah, because they're just so hefty.
But I do want to get Kanban to the table one of these days, eventually.
I think Kanban looks great.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, I'm all for you learning Kanban.
Cool.
Yeah, nice. That's your number 5?
That's my number 5.
My number 4 pick is a game that I had first played at PAX back in 2018. I didn't get the game until last year when I saw that the store had restocked on Root. So Root is, I don't even know how to define Root. Root could be defined as a war game. I honestly don't know.
It's
People view it as like kind of like a war essence game.
It's cute little animals going to war.
Yeah, and you played the app, right?
I played the app.
Yeah, so I have been hyped up on Root for a while now.
I love Root.
When I played at PAX, I played as the Woodland Alliance, and I only played 2 rounds of it, where I had basically tried to avoid all the cats and the birds. And I was basically in one little grove, just throwing influence into 2 sections.
Yeah.
And by the end of that turn, I was like, I'm not sure what I did, but it seemed like the right thing to do.
Root is a great game.
Have you played full round?
I played just the app. I've only played as the bird, I believe.
Right, because the cats have the control of the board. Then the birds have one like nest, right?
Yeah,
and they're trying to expand out.
If I remember, the bird previously had control of the board.
Yeah.
The cats came in and won over, and then the game starts with the cats having most of the board, and they're trying to maintain their dominance. The bird is trying to regroup. Right. The vagabond is out.
I heard it. Yeah, vagabond to me was a little weird. I was like, I viewed it as he was basically just giving people weapons, and then that was his goal in life, I guess. Like I haven't played Root, so I don't know. Let me know if I'm getting this rule completely wrong.
But in terms of asymmetric games, it's one of the most interesting and well balanced ones, and so the asymmetry is really up there. Okay, in terms of like everyone has a specific rule set, and everyone has their own end game. Triggers that they're trying to reach to. Right. I can't remember what the Vagabond's endgame trigger, but he is specifically trying to do something.
Okay, yeah. I know he was like, if you can get an alliance, I think, with the Vagabond, right? With somebody? I'm not even sure. I'm just making up rules.
It's been a long time since I played it. And I only played it once on the app. Yeah. But it's definitely one game that I tried on the app and I was like, all right, I want to try this on the board, but it is a complicated one.
And we have, we've heard that the app is the easiest way to learn this game. I just haven't gone around to loading or even like buying the app. So it'd be nice if I got it and like just learned Root. But,
it's good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to get around to it. Maybe I'll go to 3 now. But that is my number 4.
Cool.
Root.
Cool. All right. So my number 4 is 2 games, technically 1.
2. Okay.
So I don't know why I have both of these games. They both were on sale on Game Nerds, and for some reason I bought them. Arkham Horror, the card game, and Arkham Horror, the board game. I have both.
Interesting.
I have both.
Okay.
I haven't played any. I don't know why I bought both, because I don't even know if I like Arkham Horror.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a game I want to get to the table, mainly because of it's a classic game. And it still is pretty relevant within the board game community. Right. And I do like the theme. I do like the kind of horror, the Arkham, no pun intended, Arkham Horror. Yeah. The Cthulhu kind of aspect to it.
Right, yeah, kind of like demonic, or some sort of like demon type of thing.
And it's a co-op game, so I'm not really that much into co-op games, but it does seem fun. Yeah. I do know it's a long game.
Yeah, I think Arkham Horror it would be longer, right? Because Arkham Horror, the card game, I want to say is like an hour and a half to 2, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
I have no idea. But hey, if you guys have any opinion on which one I should start off with first, let me know, because I have no idea.
I would say Arkham Horror, the card game, is the one that's like more well regarded right now. So I would say off of that, but I haven't played either. Yeah, I played Eldritch Horror, and I liked Eldritch Horror. Nice. I don't know how it compares, but I'm hopeful. Hopeful for everything.
I'll definitely get it to the table eventually. Yeah, but that's my number 4.
Okay. All right. My number 3, and this becomes an issue because I just remembered a game that I missed. This becomes now my number 3. My number 3 game is the second game in a trilogy in the West Kingdom. This is Paladins of the West Kingdom.
Okay, nice.
I got this game. Let's see. I think I got this game on sale because I enjoyed Architects a lot. Yeah. And people were saying Paladins is better. Paladins is it takes it doesn't take Architects, but it's like it has more crunchy ideas. And what I know about it is like it's almost like there's 3 different colors of paladins that you have, and I think you're kind of like transferring them into doing certain like spaces on a board.
Yeah.
And I think the idea is that you're trying to build out the wall for this kingdom, and like you're a paladin, kind of like going around doing things. But I really enjoyed that architect's play a lot, and I think a lot of people were like hyped on that train alone. I wasn't entirely interested in Viscounts the way it looked. I'm not entirely in love with a rondel system, but Paladins definitely fell into. This would seem like a type of game that I would like.
Okay, yeah.
Like the choices in there, I saw like some playthroughs. I can't really off the top of my head remember them, but after watching a couple of them, I definitely thought this would be a game I think I would like a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So that is my number 3, Paladins of the West Kingdom.
Cool. My number 3 is a game that I own that I haven't played yet, but I played the app. And I really like this game, so I do want to get it to the table, and that is Mr. Jack Pocket.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so
you have been loving Mr. Jack.
I mean, I like deduction style games, and Mr. Jack Pocket. I haven't played the regular Mr. Jack. It's on my list to eventually play and get, because I do like the pocket version of it a lot, at least the app version.
Right.
And it's a cool deduction style game in which you kind of have like a 4x4 kind of like grid kind of thing. Okay. And then one of the grid is the killer. Okay. One person plays as the killer and one person plays as Mr. Jack. And you're moving the pieces around your kind of grid. Right. And in its line of view, the pieces turn over, and if one of the pieces is the killer, you win the game as Mr. Jack. Oh, really? And if you're the killer, you're trying to move the pieces around so Mr. Jack doesn't find it. But the interesting thing about Mr. Jack Pocket is that there are 8 actions in the game. And the actions are kind of like move Mr. Jack, move his assistant with the dog, switch pieces, turn their line of view around. The interesting thing about that is that everyone shares the same actions. So when the round starts, there are the 8 actions. If say for instance you go first and you choose Mr. Jack, move Mr. Jack moves. For the rest of the game, you can't. For the rest of the round, I'll just say, can't move Mr. Jack. So now I'm going, why did you want to move?
I see. So it's like a draft of actions.
Exactly.
So like if there's like what, 4 actions?
About 8 actions,
I see. And then you're taking one that prevents the other player
from doing it. Yeah.
I see. And then that's clever.
Now I'm thinking like, why didn't you want me to move Mrs. Jack? Is there a reason why you didn't want...
I see.
So now that's deduction. So now I have to choose the rest of the available actions.
Is this a 1v1?
It's 1v1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am terrible at this game. I've never beat the computer ever. Okay. But it's I think it's 8 actions. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played the app.
This sounds pretty fun.
It's really good in terms of a deduction style game. It's really, really good. Okay. But I haven't actually played the board game. I don't consider playing an app playing the board game. So that's
that's totally fair. Yeah, I would kind of consider that too. I like playing games like on a table with people. Yeah. But that's just me.
So that's my number 3, Mr. Jack Pocket.
All right, my number 2 is almost like a sequel in itself, but it's not really considered it might consider a sequel. So back in 2019, I'm going to go back into story mode here. This man and I, we played with one of our other friends, David. We played a game called Agricola. And we really liked Agricola. I mean, I really liked Agricola. I love the idea of trading resources and just, as they're flipping, you're getting more actions going further down the road. Yeah. And feeding your family, that could be an iffy thing, but it's not bad. This is the sequel-ish to it. This is Caverna by Uwe Rosenberg. Yeah. I got this game as a gift Christmas of 2021. So this has been in my collection for about 1.5 years now. I keep looking at it and I keep opening the box. I've gotten to the point where I've popped out the pieces. But as I'm reading the rules, I just could not, for the life of me, get it set up on the board. that has to change. I really need to get around to playing this game because I did enjoy Agricola, and I think I will enjoy Caverna much more because I want to get more into Uwe Rosenberg games. I want to learn. I haven't played Feast for Odin yet either. Throw that in there on the list. That's something we don't have. But yeah, I want to play a Caverna pretty badly. And the idea is that they actually add a cave system to this. So I think, and from what I've heard also is that the feeding your family thing, it's less punishing in this game. If anything, it's like you have more benefits as opposed to that. And I'm okay with that. It's like something, like I had no problem with feeding, but if it kind of like buffers that out, then I'm okay with that as well. Yeah. So that is my number 2, Caverna.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we played Agricola, that was fun. It took a while to get into it, but I was really into it.
Yeah.
That was my first Uwe game too.
Yeah, I was very surprised at how good Agricola played.
Yeah, that was great. Cool. So my number 2. My number 2 kind of surprises me a little bit. It's an IP-based game.
It's Marvel.
It's not Marvel.
Oh, okay.
It is an IP that I'm okay with. I don't love, but I like enough, and the idea of the game kind of really got me. It is Masters of the Universe, the game.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I really want to try this. I don't love Masters of the Universe. Like, we're 90s babies. We're not 80s babies.
Yeah.
So we missed that train. We missed the boat on Masters of the Universe and Thundercats and all that kind of.
Captain America.
But my uncle really liked Masters of the Universe, and that's kind of how I learned about
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
Oh my God, Captain Planet.
But when I learned about the game, I thought it was kind of like it was such a cool game for me.
Right.
What you know, how turns work, how it's just kind of like dudes on the map kind of game. But it just kind of worked for me. It looked really cool, and it comes with all these pieces, and kind of like the kid in me thought it was really cool, or think it's really cool.
It's a CMON game, so I imagine these miniatures are like almost like deluxe, like 3-inch miniatures.
They look really good, and I thought, I'm waiting for them to do like this sort of game with kind of a 90s property, maybe Dragon Ball Z or something like that. Okay. But it's cool. I'm not into IP-based games, but I thought this one was cool.
That's fair. I mean, I would love it if they did Avatar. Like, Last Airbender, that'd be legit.
So that's my number 2, Masters of the Universe, the game.
Nice. Before I get to my number 1, I'm going to talk about one honorable mention, because this was originally my number 3, and then I just thought of Paladins. So my honorable mention is going to be The Others. The Others is a 1 versus all game where one player plays as the Sin and everyone else plays as the people trying to take it down. I love my 1 versus all games. I love playing the 1 in these 1 versus all games like Jaws or Mind Management. Yeah. And so I really think I would have liked to play the Others a lot. So that's my honorable mention. But for my number 1, this one is the one that hits me the hardest. Because I had to go to a different continent to buy this game. So my number 1 is Glenmore 2 Chronicles.
That's funny.
All right, I'm going to tell you the story for this, and so buckle up here. So I went online and I saw on sale what I thought to be Glenmore 2 Chronicles. I bought that game, only for it to come in and realize it was the expansion.
So he's being nice here. Am I fault for this? I went online and said, Mark, Glenmore 2 is on sale.
Yeah, So I had heard good things about Glenmore 2. And to be honest, I should have really checked when I bought it. Because when I saw the title, I searched it on Board Game Geek. And it didn't match. But I was like, oh, maybe it's a new version. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah. So I bought it anyway. It clearly wasn't the right version. No. It's actually right here on the bottom here. So I didn't have the original Glenmore 2 to play that expansion. So I kept an eye out for it. Back in September of last year, I went over to Berlin to run the Berlin Marathon. And I went to visit a couple board game stores, naturally. So as I was walking through the store, I was like, I don't think I'm going to find anything here that I'm going to like. And there on the shelf, sitting right, 5 inches in front of my face, right in the front there, was Glenmore 2 Chronicles.
Nice.
So obviously, I looked at it, I was like, I remember looking at the cost for this originally, and shipping it from Europe was going to be, so I may as well have bought the game maybe 3 times over. So when I saw it, I made that split decision of, I need to get it here.
Nice.
And now it's been here since September. So this is more of I really should get around to playing this, considering the length that I went to get this game. So, but I've heard good things about Glenmore 2. Like, I think there has been a couple reviewers that had put it in their top 10s, relatively high, maybe in their top 100. So, and I do like the idea of tile placement. I think it's a rondelle system, which again I said I didn't like before, but for now it's not a bad idea. Yeah. But having actions as you go around it, and then you're removing tiles to add, that fascinates me. Yeah. So we'll see where it ends up, if I ever end up playing it this year, or if ever. But that is my number one that I know that I need to play now.
Cool.
That's Glenmore 2 Chronicles.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Before I get to my number one, I do have just 2 honorable mentions. I'm just going to mention the games. The first one is Ankh. Ankh is, I do own Ankh, and I haven't played Eric Lang Area Control game yet.
Okay.
So that's on my list to play.
And I think based on what we had played for Area Control, might be something we would like.
Yeah, we would like that one. And the second one, it's an honorable mention, which is actually I just got it from me for my birthday. It is Thunder Road Vendetta. I do want to play. Newest game. Yeah. It just looks cool. It looks like silly fun. It looks like Fast and the Furious, the board game.
Yeah.
So I'm really down to try that out. But my number one game that I want to play, that I own, that I haven't played yet, is Endless Winter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I backed Endless Winter.
Totally fair.
Yeah, I backed Endless Winter. It is, I consider, part of a trilogy of deck build and worker placement games, like Lost Ruins of Arnak and Dune Imperium. Both games that I really like.
We talked about both of them at length.
Yeah.
So.
And when one speak of one of those games, Endless Winter is one of the games that always comes up.
Yeah.
In terms of that league. So I've always wanted to play it. I haven't read the rules yet. I have it. I do want to pull it out because I like both of those games a lot. So I do think that Endless Winter is something that I would really enjoy. The art is amazing. Yeah. The theme is really cool. It just looks like something that I end up loving.
Yeah, I've heard pretty good things about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I sound like a broken record. Everything sounds good nowadays. But like if it has deck building and worker placement, it's automatically on the radar.
Oh yeah,
for everything.
Yeah, I do want to it's one of those things. It's kind of like I played those 2. I got to play the third one. Part of that unofficial trilogy of games. Yeah,
we got to add it to the list.
Yeah,
we only meet once a month for board games, so we don't get through many. So
no,
we try.
Yeah,
yeah. Having lives is hard.
Yeah, but cool. That is our top 5 games we want to play. That's in our collection that we haven't played yet.
Desperately. But yeah, cool. All right. With that being said, we'll catch you on the next one.
Cool.
I'm Mark.
I'm Zoe.
We'll see you later.